The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the massive creature materialized. In the center of the crystalline floor, it stood 12 feet tall, its obsidian exoskeleton reflecting the pale blue lights of 1,000 worlds. The beast's 6 eyes glowed with ancient malevolence, and when it spoke, the very walls trembled. "Bow before me," the creature bellowed, its voice a symphony of nightmares. "I am ZH, devourer of civilizations, ender of species. Your pathetic alliance ends today." The alien delegates cowered in their seats. The Ireni ambassador's tentacles quivered. The crystalline Vexari shattered into smaller pieces out of pure fear. Even the warrior Krell, known across 3 galaxies for their battle prowess, stepped backward, all except a human standing at the far end of the chamber. Annie Cross stood with her arms crossed, her brown eyes studying the beast with the detached interest of a scientist, examining a particularly unimpressive specimen. Her short auburn hair was tied back in a practical ponytail, and she wore the simple gray uniform of the Human Diplomatic Corps. Beside her, Massey Reeves leaned against the marble pillar, casually checking something on his datapad. ZH Kareth's eyes fixed on them. "You dare remain standing, insects?" Annie glanced at Massey. "Did he just call us insects?" Massey looked up from his datapad, pushing his glasses up his nose. "I believe he did. That's taxonomically inaccurate, but I suppose we can't expect proper classification from someone who announces himself like a wrestling villain." The beast roared, and several delegates fainted. "I have consumed 47 civilizations. I have bathed in the blood of billions. Your species will be the 48th course in my eternal feast." And he smiled. It was not a warm smile. It was the smile of someone who knew something the other party didn't. The smile of a poker player holding a royal flush. The smile that had made the Galactic Council specifically request human representation. For this exact scenario. 47 civilizations, Annie repeated, walking forward slowly. Her boots clicked against the crystalline floor with measured precision. "That's impressive. Really, it is. Massey, how many species has humanity made extinct?" Massey tapped his datapad. "On Earth alone, conservative estimates put it at 680 species in the last 500 years. But if we're counting microorganisms we've deliberately eliminated through antibiotics and sterilization protocols, we're looking at millions, possibly billions if we count viral and bacterial strains. And that's just by accident." Annie continued, still walking toward the towering beast. "Most of those extinctions, side effects, collateral damage, oopsies." ZH Kareth's confidence wavered for the first time in 3 millennia. You lie. "Oh, honey," Annie's smile widened. "We're just getting started. Tell him about the passenger pigeon." Massey adjusted his glasses. The passenger pigeon, once numbered in the billions, darkened the skies of North America for hours when they flew. Humans hunted them for sport and food. Last one died in 1914. From billions to 0 in less than a century. We didn't even mean to wipe them out completely. We were just efficient. The beast took a step backward. "The dodo," Annie added, counting on her fingers. "The Tasmanian tiger, the quagga, the great auk. We have a whole list. We put them in museums. We teach our children about them as cautionary tales. And then we go right back to doing it again." "But here's the thing," Massey interjected, walking to join Annie. "Those were accidents, mistakes. We felt bad about those. Now, let me tell you about the things we killed on purpose." Annie nodded. "Smallpox, a virus that killed an estimated 500 million humans over the course of history. We studied it, weaponized it, and then decided it was too dangerous. So we hunted it down, every single strain. We chased it across the planet, cornered it in laboratories, and erased it from existence. The only samples left exist in facilities. Kept alive only so we remember how to kill it again if we need to." Rinderpest, Massey continued. "A disease that devastated cattle populations for millennia. We decided we didn't like it. Took us about a century, but we deleted it from Earth. Just gone." Kareth's exoskeleton had paled from obsidian to a sickly gray. "But I am not a disease. I am a warrior, a conqueror." "So were we," Annie said softly, and her smile finally faded. What replaced it was far worse, cold, calculating indifference. Until we got bored of it. Do you know what we do for fun now? We split atoms. We peer into the fundamental fabric of reality. We've created microscopic black holes in laboratories just to see what would happen. We've genetically engineered life forms that have never existed. We've looked at the basic building blocks of existence and said, we can do better. Massey pulled up a holographic display from his datapad. This is the Human Extinction Database. It's a public archive. Every species we've pushed into oblivion, cataloged and categorized. We did this to ourselves first, you see. We nearly ended our own species at least a dozen times. Nuclear weapons, climate catastrophe, biological warfare, artificial intelligence gone wrong. We stood at the brink of extinction and stared into the abyss so many times that the abyss got uncomfortable and looked away. And the beautiful part, Annie stepped within arm's reach of the towering alien. She had to crane her neck to look up at its 6 terrified eyes. We survived, every single time. We learned. We adapted. We documented our failures and our successes. We turned extinction into a science. The beast's voice trembled. What? What are you? We're humans, Annie said simply. We're the species that looked at the food chain and decided we weren't satisfied with our position. So we removed ourselves from it entirely. We're the species that saw the natural order and rewrote it. We're the species that makes other species. Massey nodded. We've brought species back from extinction through cloning. We've created entirely new ones through genetic engineering. We are, quite literally, playing God. And we're getting pretty good at it. So here's what's going to happen, Annie said, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. You're going to leave this chamber. You're going to return to whatever dark corner of the galaxy you crawled out of. And you're going to tell everyone you meet about the species that smiles when threatened. Because that smile, Shkarath, that's not confidence. That's not bravado. She leaned in closer, and her smile returned. That's pattern recognition. We've been here before. We know how this ends. The beast that had devoured 47 civilizations, that had bathed in the blood of billions, that had inspired terror across 3 galaxies, vanished in a shimmer of teleportation energy. The Galactic Council remained silent for a long moment. Finally, the Ireni ambassador spoke, its translator crackling. The humans, they frightened it away with words. Annie turned back to the assembled delegates. No, we frightened it away with history. Our history. The thing about humans is that we're really good at making things extinct. It's practically our superpower. Massey tucked his datapad away. The question was never whether we could end the threat. The question was whether we needed to. Turns out, just reminding the universe what we're capable of is usually enough. As they walked out of the chamber, Annie glanced at Massey. You think he'll come back? Would you? Annie's smile returned. Not a chance.